There's this Haitian proverb, "Bay qu'oublié, pote mak songer." He who gives the blow forgets, but he who carries the scar remembers.
This is the prison that they built while we were in this prison here.
Bobby Duval is somebody who has not forgotten. Bobby spent 17 months in Duvalier's most notorious prison, Fort Dimanche, and he says that he came out a walking skeleton, that he saw 180 people die in his cell, which was 13 feet by 14 feet and held up to 40 people.
C'est là que j'étais dans prison moi-même. Il y a 180 personnes qui mourent devant là, là, ouais. So, moun sa c'est des moun m'a raconté histoire ça parce que Duvalier c'est pour connaître ça Duvalier fait nous pas me connaître ça Duvalier. Moi besoin nous expliquer ça. Bah ça pas refaire. Duvalier is not just a regular person. Duvalier represents 30 years of this systematic destruction of life, of individuals, of society, of government. We're still trying to recover from it 25 years later, and we have not been able to do so.
Jean-Claude Duvalier was the dictator of Haiti from 1971 to 1986, and he actually came to power at the age of 19, succeeding his father as president for life. Under Papa Doc and Baby Doc, thousands of Haitians were killed, disappeared, tortured. He ruled the country through a network of Tonton Macoutes, this large paramilitary force that his father had created, named after a Haitian Creole myth, the bogeyman who kidnaps and punishes unruly children and puts them in a gunny sack and carries them off. And those who spoke out against Duvalier were just taken away. Even before the earthquake, Haiti was the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and since the earthquake, things have just gotten worse. And I'm on my way to what used to be the presidential palace to meet the legal advisor to the president to talk about the prosecution of Jean-Claude Duvalier, the former dictator who's just come back. We don't know why he came back after 25 years. We think that he tried to slip in and slip out so that he could go to the Swiss government, which has impounded his money, and say, see, the Haitians aren't after me. Give me my money back. And it was probably a calculated gamble on his part that the Haitian state had reached such a low point that they were not going to do anything to him.
Well, like they say in Haitian, he may have counted well, but he calculated wrong. No, he's back in, and instead what he's done, at least to the people who have been victims of him or to remember who he was, we are determined, man, to not let this one go by.
The Haitian government revived a case against him for the embezzlement of these hundreds of millions of dollars, but it wasn't until human rights groups and people like Bobby Duval filed complaints that the Haitian government also began to pursue Duvalier for human rights crimes.
We filed charges, a couple of us, a good 10 of us, and we in the campaign of trying to get all the people that have been victims, direct or indirect, to come forward and press charges. Now we should take this as an opportunity to be able to put back the human rights question at the forefront of life in Haiti.
For people who have been traumatized, it's very shocking to see the man who was responsible for that just walking around.
He doesn't even acknowledge all the thousands of dead and wounded and disappeared and hurt and destroyed people during his time. How could we accept that? How could we accept that?
In any country, you see victims who just throw in the towel, and you see victims who harness their experience into a fight for justice. And Bobby is the example of somebody who overcomes his fear to do what needs to be done. I first met Bobby actually in 1987 on my first trip to Haiti. Just after Duvalier fell. He's one of the most exuberant people I know. He's always been giving back to the community. He runs a soccer club for kids.
This is a youth development program for underprivileged kids. We try to give the kids the best through sports, through education, and through a feeding program.
But he's always remembered what happened, and one of his missions is for Haitians to remember what happened.
From the time I was born until today, you know, my life revolves around all the things that have happened around the Duvalier years, one way or another. Everybody had to redefine themselves according to the regime.
C'est quand on vous a... Wow. Ah, c'est sorti là, wow. Et c'est au moment de votre arrestation ou c'est dans la prison?
Oui.
The law in Haiti has always been used to reinforce the domination of a small elite over the great mass of poor people and has almost never functioned to punish even the worst massacres. When dictatorial leaders such as Duvalier have been overthrown, the worst that has happened is that they leave the country and join their bank account somewhere else. And as a result, there is very little confidence in Haiti among the poor, in the state in general and the legal system in particular. And this is the kind of a case where a fair and transparent trial could actually show Haitians that the state can be on the side of the poor, that it functions, that justice actually is possible in Haiti.
Moi-même, je veux réclamer injustice que vous faites moi, soit pour la justice bonne lumière, ok, il a fini pour dédommager aux réparations.
One can imagine a trial in which Duvalier's victims, who were never taken into account in the Haitian justice system, actually get up and are able to testify and talk about what happened to them. What would it say about Haiti? What would it say about the world if in 2011 a brutal dictator whose regime is responsible for thousands of deaths and disappearances could just go back to his country and not be prosecuted?